Bum, 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 na, 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 na. Hello, it's Archwoman O. I'm with another review today. I'm not with another review, I'm doing another review today. I am doing Truth or Dare by Madonna. And I just want to say, first of all, I bring you this review kind of sheepishly, with my tail between my legs. And the reason I say that is because if any of you have watched my review of Truth or Dare Naked, which is one that came out after this one, I've said before that I hate it. I've said I don't like it, I thought it was a mess, it kind of turned my stomach a little bit. And I did smell it when it first came out. So I smelled it on paper, I smelled it on my skin. The fragrance is based around tuberose and it's my favourite flower in fragrances, and when I smelled it, something didn't quite match up for me. I thought it clashed and it was weird. But things can change. I'm doing a complete 180 on this. It's 2 years later, I've smelled it a few more times, and there were 3 girls at my work at one time that used to wear this, sometimes in succession as well. So being around it has got me used to it, and now I'm kind of in love with it. It can happen. You can love a perfume one week and then hate it the next. That's why I try and keep my reviews kind of neutral. But for now, really enjoying wearing this fragrance. So this is Madonna's first fragrance. As far as I know, there was a fragrance years ago called Madonna Nudes. I'm not sure if it was even by her or what happened with that. Google it. But for now, this is Madonna Truth or Dare. It came out in 2012, 2-3 years ago. It's based around tuberose, which was apparently her mother's favourite flower, so she had a big hand in making the fragrance, which I truly respect, because I know a lot of celebrities don't. They just have their face smashed on the bottle, the bottle, some of them, and the box. So I'll give you the notes. It's a floral. I've seen it described as an oriental floral, but it isn't, because there isn't really many spices and things in it. It's a full-on white floral, so if you're into kind of candy fragrances, anything kind of fruity and sweet, this isn't for you, because it's very, very bold, really bold, and that's why I like it. So the top 3 notes are neroli, which is sometimes mistaken for and known as orange blossom, very, very gorgeous flower, tuberose, and gardenia, which smells a little bit like tuberose as well. They're both on the scale of florals, from 0 being quite dainty and sweet like violet to ferocious and fierce like jasmine. Tuberose is pretty much up there with the powerhouse florals. So gardenia is also. So you've got 2 really big powerhouse florals in the top notes. The hard notes are jasmine, another one on the top end of the scale. White lily, again quite a rough, in-your-face floral, and then benzoin. Benzoin, I've said it millions of times before, but in case you're watching my reviews for the first time, benzoin is kind of like a very soft caramel vanilla. It's usually used not to be a standout note, unless you're talking about Prada candy, which it's the main note, but it normally kind of just smooths things over and gives a bit of longevity and a little bit of depth to a fragrance. So it's like it's like putting a drop of honey in your tea, basically. And then, where did that come from? I don't know, but I like that analogy. And then the base notes are very typical: musk, vanilla and amber. You find that in so many fragrances. So if you didn't know already, this is the box. It is very white. It is very tall. It has lots of gold detailing on it. It says the name, and it says Madonna on it, surprisingly enough. It's got the ingredients, as you would expect. Yeah, I guess that's Madonna's symbol. I thought it was more of a curly M. I don't know, I'm not here to review celebrity, because I never get into that territory when I review a celebrity fragrance. Well, I try not to anyway, because I don't like nasty comments on my channel. So, this is the bottle. I'm not a fan of the bottle at all. I think it's really top heavy. It's really in danger of being knocked over all the time. I always have to lay it down because I feel like I'm just going to whack it over and it's going to smash everywhere. But yeah, it's studded. It's gold and stuff like that. And this stuff does actually scratch off. It's kind of like a plastic coating on the glass. Someone else I know has got this, and they carry it in their bag, which I know you probably shouldn't, but yeah, there's bits coming off and stuff. So it's kind of cheaply made, but you know, I paid £11 for it. I'm not going to complain. Not going to lie. I love it though. So, what does it smell like? Very nice is the answer. But like I said, it isn't very shy and retiring. It's not a celebrity fragrance that goes down the typical route of fruits and flowers, but then it's Madonna. She's not going to do that, is she? So, it sprays out quite a sharp burst of fragrance, and you don't need much either, which is great for the price of it. I'm not going to lie, I'm so impressed with the strength and everything like this. I'll just comment while this is drying. The sillage on this fragrance, and if you're new to perfumery, if you don't know what sillage is, and a lot of you will, sillage is the trail that a perfume leaves behind you when you leave a room or leave an area. Some fragrances have zero, and some, like this, have such a huge sillage that it's astounding. Like I said, I work with a few girls that wear this, and we have lots of corridors in our office, and I can smell this perfume hanging in the air at least 4 to 5 minutes after they've left. So it really is that powerful. Longevity wise, it lasts about 8 hours, but obviously the sillage dies down a little bit, but it projects really far. I mean, looking at the ingredients, it's quite obvious. It has the top end of the most ferocious flowers. I'm like that word recently, ferocious. So that's why it has this tremendous, and it's got benzoin as well, which gives it longevity on top of that. So that's why it has this tremendous sillage, and you don't get that with many fragrances nowadays, let alone celebrity fragrances. So just a little pointer. So it smells, God, I can't believe how I've switched around from not liking it at all to thinking, wow, this is quite impressive. But it can happen, like I said. It's a different beast from when you smell it on your hand to when you've smelled it on a person, which I have big experience in now. When you smell it on your hand, first of all, the tuberose is the thing that dominates the entire thing. Like I said, gardenia is very similar, so that's backing it up as well. White flowers all over the place. It even smells a little bit spicy, but in a floral way, the same way that carnation is spicy. There's nothing in it that is a spice, like pepper or anything else like that, like nutmeg. It is, some flowers just give off a spicy aroma. And I'm not sure where it's coming from, because I don't think tuberose is, but this does have a very lightly floral, spicy tone to it, with a huge, it's like a big waft of smooth tuberose. When you smell it in the air, that's when it's very smooth. The vanilla and the benzoin in this really do their job. They smooth over what would be a very intense floral bouquet, but when you smell it on someone or in a room, it takes on this kind of smell. It almost smells to me like a candied tuberose. It smells a little bit plasticky, which sounds weird, but in a good way. I do promise you that. This is going to be a weird analogy, but I think it kind of smells like what if you had a plastic tuberose in a vase. If someone had one on their windowsill that had been scented with tuberose, it's kind of like that. It's very tuberosy, but there's this kind of smooth bubble of kind of plastic sweetness around it. So it's a very smooth but very strong floral perfume. And when I first smelled it as well, I somehow thought that I was smelling something like rhubarb. You know, like a very sour, there's like a sort of sour fruitiness behind it, which is weird, but I've come to love it, so it's good. It's won me over in every way possible. It's good. I've smelled tuberose perfumes before that have been really fierce and overpowering, and this is pretty much overpowering, but the vanilla and stuff and the musk just temper it down just enough, so it's not too much by my standards, because I will wear the most fierce fragrances I can find. But yeah, that's kind of like what it is. If you've never smelled tuberose, I can't really describe it. You'd have to smell it to know. I can't put it into words, that one. But I did say it's kind of the top end of florals. It's kind of like Lily of the Valley, where it's in your face and can be choking. Not doing you many favours here, am I? But that's what I mean. So that's it for the main part. It's literally 3-4 hours of very long sillage, great projection for a very cheap price as well in most places that I've seen. And the dry down, just to finish off, tuberose backs off, vanilla starts to take over, which is what it normally does when it's in a fragrance. Amber again is a very smooth note, which gives it that kind of plasticky sweetness. So you're left with a much calmer tuberose, more manageable, and it comes a little bit more closer to the skin, and it's a lot more wearable then. So if you like heavy hitters, hard hitters, and you like a statement fragrance, and you're on a budget, I would definitely go for this. If you want to get into white florals, or really have a dose of what tuberose smells like on a commercial level, try this. Don't click up here to subscribe, because YouTube have moved, without consent of anyone else, they've moved the little things down to the bottom. So I'm just going to say, in case I move it again, click my logo to subscribe, because I've got a logo now. Hopefully see you guys soon, and thanks for watching as always. Goodbye.